Hello everybody, and in this video I want to show you how to play modern video games on your Apple Silicon Mac. It can be the M1, the M2, the M3 and all the iterations. Basically what you need to have is a virtual machine running Windows, preferably Windows 11, but you can also go with the ARM version of Windows 10. And you need to have a program called Crossover. Crossover is a wine client that simplifies the use of this translation layer between Windows programs and Mac programs. It can also work on Linux. And you also need to have a modern video game client such as Steam or GOG, Origin, if someone still uses this, etc, etc. Epic Games is also a viable option. You need either one of these three because these three things are the essential three in order to run a game on your Mac computer. And you need at least one of them. I'm not going to discuss or show you anything about the virtual machine running on Windows because I think that everyone talks about it plenty and the performance is also not very something to be excited about, so there is no need for me to cover that. What I will show you primarily in this tutorial is the crossover option and obviously the native supported games that you can find on Steam. So my crossover is already installed in my computer, so I'm not going to show you the installation process. It's fairly simple. I will show you how to download, but later in the video. Please note that this program is paid, so you will either need to pay or always use the trial version. Okay, now I'll show you how to download super quick. You type in Google crossover, preferably crossover Mac, and you will get yourself to the first option, developed by Code Weavers. This is sponsored, so you might want to go this option. Run your Windows apps on macOS, Linux or Chrome OS. This is actually interesting, but we'll go for it later. Now you go for the free trial, enter your name, email address and download. Install it as usual and then you will want to run it through here or any other way you run a program. You can try now to try it or buy it. I'm gonna try it so we will understand better how to do the procedures. Okay, now this program is divided by bottles. Each bottle represents a sort of computer, but not really, obviously. Every single thing here is a test that I made in the past. Only two of these are operational, which is the heroic one, of which I play Grand Theft Auto 5. And my Steam one, of which I tested a bunch of demo games because I don't play much with Steam, but I recognize that this is the best option for PC gaming. I play mostly on my Nintendo Switch, so I'm not really that professional in playing video games on your computer. Anyway, this tutorial is not about Grand Theft Auto, but if you do this, you also need to have a launcher for Epic Games called Heroic. If your game was purchased via the Epic Store client, but if it was via Steam, there is no problem here. I'm not going to show you the performance of each game. I'm just here to show you how to do the procedure itself. So here you will have I will show you from the beginning. You click install and it will ask you what application you want to install. It can be the Rockstar Games Launcher, Elder Scrolls, Cyberpunk, Steam. For example, I will go with something very minor, such as DOSBox. You click install and it will create you a bottle with a Windows XP 32-bit named. Install and it will do the thing it does. Later I'll show you how to create an empty bottle, because sometimes you want to install things that are not in the crossovers library. Click next, next, install. This installation is one of the simplest I've ever seen recently. And here you have it, an empty bottle, not empty, sorry, with DOSBox as a program. I can double click it to open. And there you have it, a DOSBox. Just to show you it works, here it is. If you want to have an empty bottle, you click install and can't find what you're looking for, install an unlisted application. Edit, so you can control where you want to save this, and add it here, so you will think of a proper name to your bottle, what kind of it, if it's a new or you're going to install it on an existing one, and what operating system it should demonstrate to the guest program that it's running on. You can have much later versions of Windows, such as Windows 10 and 11, and you can also have as early as Windows 98 through 2000, the two XPs, Vista 7 and 8. And there you have it. Now I'll go back to my Steam bottle in order to show you more proper things. Here under the section of advanced settings you have D3D Metal, DXVK, eSync and mSync and high resolution mode. I will explain briefly every option and why you need each one. The first one is the D3D Metal. Recently, about a year ago, Apple introduced their porting kit, you can say, to port Windows games to macOS via Metal and to make it more native through Rosetta to run DirectX games. This is the best option and the most optimal one. If you're installing a Windows game and want to run it the best way possible on your Mac, you probably should check this option. If for some reason the toolkit gaming, they call it, let's see, part of the game porting toolkit of Apple. If for some reason it doesn't work properly, you can also switch back the traditional option that was before the update Apple has done in the latest version of macOS, which is 13, 14, I don't remember, sorry, which is just an emulation virtual. It's not really not emulation and not virtualization, but I can't find the proper word to demonstrate it as shall for right now. It's supposedly an act of DirectX. It runs real DirectX through Wine. If you don't know what is Wine, I suggest you to look it up online because I have no time to explain such complicated topic in a video that small. It's a translation layer. eSync is something that there are two, eSync and mSync. eSync is the synchronization of the game, you can say, between the graphics and everything else, and mSync is the Mac version. Don't get too complicated with each of these. Most games will need eSync available in order to work better. If you are working with DirectX 11 or 12, you might need to check this option, eSync. And if you are working through Metal, you will need mSync. No question asked. High resolution mode is the option that you must check if you are using a MacBook, an iMac, or any other Mac with an Apple certified monitor, an Apple Retina display, you may say. If you're not like me, I have a Mac Mini with a very old monitor from the early 2010s, so there is no need for me to check this because it will make no difference. Okay guys, I hope you understood in a good manner what I wanted to tell you in this tutorial. I hope I was helpful. And now you will have a good time playing on your MacBook as a student or on your Mac Mini, iMac, whatever. Just so you know, you can play games on a Mac, almost every game. So be quiet and don't say that Apple computers are not good for games. Of course, I'm just kidding. It's not the perfect way to play games, but it's doable and it works on some games. There is also another option that I briefly wanted to discuss, and these are the native supported games that you can find on Steam, on or Epic Games, or even the Origin if you want to play Sims. But these are insignificant, small numbered, and performing perfect. Take your pick. Okay, I hope you enjoy my tutorial, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, take care, and have a nice day.